Hi, good morning, good afternoon, whatever your time zone is. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a fantastic presentation for you. Ana Maria Bisbey York will be doing some transformations that can save your ETL in Power BI. My name is Kelly Kay. I'm the Power BI MVP lead, and I'm super excited about having Ana Maria here today. Hi, Ana Maria, how are you?
Hi, how are you, everyone? Good morning, good afternoon, hello.
So with that, how about we begin your presentation? Can't wait. Thanks so much.
Okay, I'm Ana Maria Bisbe from Madrid, Spain. I'm very happy for being here today, ready to talk about some transformation that can save your ETL in Power BI. First of all, I want to thank the MVP program for the opportunity. I'm BI consultant, Microsoft partner in Power BI, I'm data platform MVP, and LinkedIn trainer in Spanish. I'm a member of Power BI user group in Spain, in Madrid, and leader of Power Platform Madrid meetup. Okay, that's all about me. So the agenda for this session is by first, we will look briefly about the definition of ETL process in general and ETL process in Power BI desktop in particular. And then we will travel through the 3 steps of ETL. That makes extractions, transformations, that includes data quality and data transformation, and load data to the data model. ETL process is the first and definitely the basic layer of business intelligence system. We could say it's a hidden layer. Final user who looks at the analytical reports and dashboard does not see all the stuff necessary for cleansing, filtering, and wrangling data before loading it. ETL process is as hard to implement as necessary for the success of a BI project. All the BI process is based on a good or a bad ETL. Power BI goes through the 3 steps of ETL process: extract data from files, from folders, databases, scripts, cloud, or many other sources. Then, using the query editor, we are able to transform imported data, doing data quality tasks, filtering by rows and columns, formatting original data as tables, combining queries, and doing several different transformations, like, for example, pivot and pivot, field transpose, and so on. After that, Power BI is able to load data into data model, creating relationships between loaded tables. Then is our goal to refine the model, hiding columns, fixing relationships in case it will be necessary. As soon as we finish all the ETL and modeling tasks, we are ready for starting the development of reports and dashboards in Power BI Desktop, Power BI Service, and Power BI Mobile. Okay, let's start looking at ETL process in Power BI step by step. During the Power BI ETL extraction, Power BI connects to a large amount of data sources: files, databases, Power Platform sources, Azure Online Service, and other. Power BI uses a specific connection and navigation wizard that allows us an easy way for getting data from the source. There are 2 options of getting data. It's possible to import data to Power BI Desktop. That allows us to share different data sources and later to use all the possibilities and functionalities of DAX and tabular models. Or we could decide not to import any data and to query directly from relational data, using direct query for relational data, or Connect Live for Analysis Services Database. About transformation, we have, there is a transformation by table, there is transformation by any columns, and there is also transformation by text, number, and date columns. During the ETL steps, it's really important to filter by rows and by columns, because it's important to upload the least amount of data we can. So it's also important to do all the tasks related to the rows, to control rows. Okay, let's see. For example, we could find this kind of problems. In this case, we have different data types. We have here different data types and values, and we are using the column D for 4 elements and column E for the values for these elements: subtotal, total amount, total, and freight. So the transformation here that can save our ETL is pivot columns. We need to pivot column D, and use the values from column E. And as the result, we obtain a new table with all the well-defined columns using the transformations for our ETL. In this case, we have different problems. In this case, for example, we have spaces here, nulls values, we have totals by columns, we have total by rows. So a lot of problems here, but the most important problems is that for this column, we have at the same time information about the marital status, information about the gender, and information about the value itself. So we need to make some transformations here. In this case, the table is more complex, so we have not just one transformation. Here we have several transformations for our ETL. We need to fill up, filter, remove columns, transpose, and unpivot. And at the end, we have a beautiful table with all the columns very well defined. So those transformations are ready for save our ETL step and for creating the really good table for our tabular model. Finally, Power BI allows us to load data into a tabular model. Power BI checks the relationships, and we need to perform additional improvements, like, for example, hide some columns and so on. Okay, now let's go to the demo. Here, okay, no. Okay. Okay. Here, I will show you. Okay. Now we have our data. In our case, we will work with 2 files, RPT files. We will work with an Excel file. We will use an M script created by Chris Webb. We will obtain some categories from a zip file, and we will copy and paste information from a Word file. And also we will use an R code. Okay, here we have our starting point. So the starting point is the following. We have two files here. I will show you the query dependencies. We have cells from 2017 and cells for 2018. The information it's almost the same. Okay, the only difference is the source. It's different. We have here a different root. Okay, so and the steps are almost the same. Just the difference is for this year, for 2018, we need to remove several other columns. So as far as we have both tables, the transformation here that can save our ETL is to combine appending queries. So we will create a new query for cells, joining the information we have in one RPT file in one folder and another RPT file in another folder. So here we have cells. These cells will be the query that we will upload to the model, and the information here we are disable. Okay, we are not going to load. The following information we need to obtain from SQL Server database. Okay, so database, SQL Server, connect. This will be information from customer. We will import. Okay, Adventure Wars, of course, and dim customer. Okay. So Power BI is able to detect the relationship between customer and geography tables. By first, we will read off of several columns because there's too much. Customer key, geography key, for example, first and last name, marital status, for example, income, and very important, dim geography. Okay, now we have some columns from customer, and as you can see, Power BI is able to see the relationship, and this is really important because we are able to find the columns, the information we need, city, and for example, country here. So just one query for customer and geography all together. Okay, I will show you the sample here because I was preparing. I was here. I was preparing some transformation for customers because we have not a lot amount of time. As you can see, the source is SQL, navigation. I remove other columns, expand geography, and then I was working with birthdays because this column is a column with a very high granularity, and the best choice here is to figure out the age and then figure out the age. I was using some transformation for this column, and then I have age right now, and then I was creating a conditional column for data for age ranges. As you can see, we have youngest, young, and less young because we all are young people. Okay, so here I create several transformations, and by now I have all the information about customer, all the information about geography, and new columns created for age ranges and for ordering, of course, because we need 2 columns. And as you can see, I was working with parameters here because it's really important, it's really interesting to use these parameters inside the transformations. It's really, really useful to work with parameters here. Okay, let's move to another source. In this case, we will work with folder. The information about products are in a folder. In this folder, copy and paste. Okay. Okay, in this folder, I have several, as you can see, I have several files here with information about products that belongs to one of product lines. M for mountain, R for route, and so on. T for tourism. There's several transformations that should be done before combining these files. Okay, so I will to transform data. I have products here. As you can see, the transformation that can save our ETL will be combined files. So we will combine files. The problem here is that for very first file, the structure of the files is one table, P mountain, and a mountain like one table and one sheet. And for the second file, we have not the same information. So the best idea here is to transform data. Using this option, Power BI is able to read the metadata of our Excel files. So for this case, the most important thing is that we need to create all the transformations that should be done before combining file using these sample files first. In this case, we need to, for example, filter here. We need to filter here for just to use the table. And then we need to obtain all the columns. For example, we could, for example, read off of several. Okay, for example, that's okay. Okay, as you can see, we are able to do some transformation. Okay, and for example, if we need to obtain a column with a part of the name, the transformation here will be add columns from examples. This transformation is really, really good because it's really easy for us. If we type some contents of the columns or combination of columns, Power BI will be able to define the correct transformation. In this case, Power BI realized that the information that I want to recover is all the information we have after delimiter and underscore. So it's really, really good for me. This is a line. Okay, and I have. And at the end, we could see that we did for just one file for the mountain, but at the end we have all the information for mountains, for routes, and tourism for all the files, because all of these transformations applied to the sample file will be included in function. Will be included in function here. In function here. Okay, and then this function will be invoked, and because of this, all the files in this folder will be processes. And I want to show you that if we have 3 files, we have 3 information, mountains, route, and so on. But if we just add 2 more, in this case, I have 2 more files. If I add these 2 more files to the folder, we are working on the folder, we will see here we have 3 values, and now we just need to refresh preview. And just doing the refresh of our data, we have all the information here for these 5 files. So it's really, really good. It's really good for working on a folder, because we have all the possibilities here. Okay, so now for products, it's important to, for example, we could delete these columns and this one also. And in this case will be important to select, to select all the columns and to define the data type. Okay, now we have sales, customers, and product. Okay, we have the information about the subcategories. It's storage in this Office Word file. Power BI is not able to directly connect to a Word file, but Power BI is able to paste some content from the clipboard to a query. So here we are able to copy this content and paste to Power BI. Paste where? To here. This is the option, enter data. And from this option, we are able to paste. This is my subcategory table from the Word file. Okay, now we have subcategory, and the information about categories, it's storage in a zip file. Power BI, again, is not able to decompress zip file, but Power BI is able to run R script code, and R is able to decompress zip file. Okay, so we need just to copy and paste. I will show you that this works. It's okay. We are able to see the information here. And now I will copy this R code to our Power BI new source. New source. In this case, we will use R code, other, R script code, connect. paste this code. Okay. So now we have the information about categories here. Okay, and now we just need to split column by delimiter, semicolon, and that's it. In this case, category. Okay. So we have products, we have subcategories, and we have categories. And then again, one very important transformation. This is about categories. These categories is about products. Subcategories about products. So we need just one entity, product. In this case, the transformation that can save our modeler, our ETL, it's merge queries. In this case, merge queries as new, products add subcategory. Here we have subcategory key, subcategory ID. Okay. Now we need to expand the columns here, category ID, because we have to connect to categories, and subcategory for the descriptions. Okay, we have both columns here. And then again, merge queries to categories. Okay, here. So this column to this column. Okay. And now expand just this one. So now we have in just one column, we have the information about the products. In just one table, we have in just one query, we have all the informations about the products, product categories, and product subcategories. So we are able using Power Query to obtain these combinations. So this was the very first. Disable, 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 and here, for example, product. Okay, so categories, I will put all of this. Okay. Okay, now we have sales that includes two files, customer that includes customer and geography, and product that includes all the information about categories and subcategories all together. The next step is to join promotions. Promotions are storage in an Excel file. In a table, promotion cells. Okay, the challenge here is to obtain just the promotions info from a table. And in this table, we have also several information about the cells, and we don't need not to include in this model, and we don't need, we need to not to lose this information. So at the same time, we need to maintain the information. So in this case, we will reference this query reference. So we will have the original, and the second one will be just for promotions. Why we are doing this? We are doing because in this case, we need to select just some columns related to promotion. For example, promotion key, promotion name, type, category, and so on. Some columns, just some columns. As we can see, this information as repeated and repeated, because here we are talking, we are obtaining the information from all the cells. And the transformation that can save our ETL here is to delete, to remove duplicates. Now we have the info that we need, just the information about the promotion cells. Okay, now the last step we want to create here is to create a new source, a blank query, because we want to create a calendar table. We have a lot of samples from the community. We have several samples, and Chris Webb from our community, and now he's working on for Microsoft. Chris Webb create this script for calendar table several years ago. So I will just copy and paste this script on Advanced Editor using M language. Chris Webb was able to create all of this transformation, all of these steps, and we just need to copy and paste, and then to invoke the function. For example, in this case, we, for example, let's see that we are talking about the last 4 years. So in this case, this will be our period. And now I'm invoking the function, and for us will be our calendar function. Calendar function here, this here, promotion cells disable, and as you can see, we have our 5 final queries, and the information is for several different data sources. Using a Power Query editor is really good to look at the query dependencies, because it's interesting to see that, for example, category it's obtaining from R code. Cells, it's obtaining from one origin, and from other origin. Where is cell? Where is the other? Okay. One from 1 year and from other year. Customer from SQL Server and using 2 parameters. Then calendar from blank query, and promotions from Excel file. Okay, promotion from Excel file, and here and product from subcategory from work, category from R, and also product from folder. So a lot of origins here. Okay, and now we are able to upload our model, our beautiful star schema model, where we have the information about customers, taking geography like city and country, and other new columns created, cells, products, categories, subcategories all together, calendar, and promotions. So we've extracted data from files RPT. Data, those files were in different locations. And then from folder, products in this case, from clipboard, from R scripts, from Excel table, and from SQL Server database. So all together, then we execute a lot of transformations that definitely save our ETL, allowing us to create a data model created for these 5 final queries, these tables, and then additional queries and parameters and functions. And finally, we obtain our beautiful star schema model. Our conclusions here, I was very quickly, but if you have questions, I will be very happy to answer. The final conclusions here are the query editor. It's in Power BI, it's a powerful tool for ETL purposes because data could be extracted from many different sources. Data could be transformed from different format to a model, and data could be cleansed and improved, taking in account also business requirement, like I did using the birthday column, from the birthday column to the age and age range. And finally, data could be loaded into a tabular model. Happy querying! Okay, if you have any question, I will show the final Power Query here transformation. If you have any questions, as you can see, cells is the combinations for tables, then customers, the combination for customer and geography, products from folder to combining also categories and subcategories, promotions, taking just the most important information, and calendar from the Chris Web, code. Some functions and parameters here, and the other temporal and queries. Deepak? Deepak? Are you here? Okay. I'm not listen the chat. Is there any question? Are you enjoying the session? Deepak? Okay. Okay, I will show again query dependencies. Information from cells. Here we have for customers using parameters and database. For products, all the information that we obtain. And for promotions also here. I have the age band formula. Okay. Okay, Martin. Okay. Thank you for the questions. I was worried about so silent here. Okay, I will show you. This is for customer. Look at this. Here we have the information about the birthday. Okay, so birthday, it's a value that it's really bad for the tabular model because a lot of different values. It's a column that we need to transform. And for working with this kind of situation, we are able to use the transformation we have for this kind of columns. We are speaking about the age, about the date column. So the very first is to obtain the age. The age means that all the dates that this person from the birthday from July, from December, October 71 to till today. This is the age. And the next step is we are talking about the duration column. Now it's a duration. And from the duration columns, we are able to find total years, days, hours, minutes. So this will be the days. The very first information here is dates, then hours, minutes, and seconds. Okay, so we are able to find from here, from the options, total years. Okay, now we have the information. In this case, it's better to round the information to round to the down. Of course, is the age of the person. And then the conditional columns. So the idea here is to compare the value of the age from different values here. First option, just put the value, for example, 50 and let's see, for example, 75. So if age is less than or equal 50, then youngest. If age is less than or equal 75, then young. Or in this case, it's a really good idea to use parameters. Why? Because depending on the situation, the customer requirement could change during the time. And it's really a good idea to create the parameter here and to use the value for these parameters inside the expression. And then just add the other column because it's important whenever we have more than two values in conditional columns, it's important to define another column for create the order. Because in this case, we are not, it's not possible to show the alphabetical order because these columns has has a meaning in itself. So it's important to define the order, and that's all. That's good for you, Martin? Ramon, have you any problem? Mm-hmm. Any other questions? Okay. Actually, we could see this this example in the advanced editor. For in Power Query, we are able to see the M query using advanced editor. In this case, as you can see, we are creating the expressions for the age range and for the order age range. It's the same. The expression is the same. The difference just is that in this case we are using the label, and in the other case we are showing the value for the order. So as you can see, M code, it's able to show us the solution here, solution that we've created using just transformation. Without any code, we were able to do all of these transformations, all of these relations between the sources, between the data sources and our beautiful star schema model. Any other question? Okay, Kelly, Deepak.
Yes, Anna. So I guess you answered all the questions. I don't see any more further questions on it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I guess the last question was from Raman, right?
Okay. Okay. The question is about what about the use the tool between SSIS or Power BI, depending on the data volume. Power BI is able to consume, it's able to do a lot of transformation using a lot of volume of data. The idea here is to understand that using the Power Query, we are working with a preview data set. So it's really useful for me. It's I'm a BI person before Power BI, so I'm a SQL BI person. So I love SSIS. But now I think that it's really useful to obtain all of this transformation, all of these models using Power Query, because of the capacity of the functionality of Power Query, and also because Power Query we have in Power BI, in Excel, in Flow, we have in Common Data Services, we have Power Query everywhere. So I start loving Power Query. And I think that Power Query is able to work to manage tons and tons of volume of data. very high volume of data, Ramon. So I think that I'm in love of of Power Query. Okay. Okay. Okay, Ramon, I'm answering you, but in English. I think that you need the answer in Spanish. It's that's the case. Yes, Power Query will be is a source in will be a source in SSIS. Yes, yes. Okay. It's okay, Ramon?
Yeah, that should be fine, Anna.
Okay. So thanks, Deepak. Thanks, Kelly. I hope to was useful the session. I looking forward of the feedback. And thanks again for the opportunity. I will share you the PowerPoint, because here we have also learning resources about Power Query and about M code in general.
Oh, thank you so much, Anna. It's been a fantastic webinar.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm sorry. Thank you, I was talking while I was muted. Thank you so much for taking the time to do the webinar, Ana Maria. We appreciate both your English and Spanish responses and including everyone. It's fantastic. Thanks, Deepak, for producing it. And I think we'll sign off here and we'll be posting it to YouTube within the next 5 days. And stay safe, everyone.
Great, fantastic. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you. Bye.